Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Shogun 2 Total War. Well, last time, we completed the conquest of Shikoku, and as a result, we've now triggered a realm divide. And what that means is, we're now at war with literally cocking everybody. And to make matters worse, a whole bunch of new alliances have just been created too. A whole bunch of people who, yes, previously didn't really like each other that much, have suddenly decided they want to be best friends. With a couple of small exceptions. Like, say, the Honma, they have declared war on me, but they've not allied with anybody else, which like a load of other people have. The Ikoiki, meanwhile, they're now allied with the Shogunate and one of the small faction next to me, while that same faction has decided to ally with literally cocking everybody. Which is a problem because, obviously, allies have a military access, meaning there's now basically nothing stopping the Hojo and the Takeda marching right up to my territory. Basically, yes, with a couple of minor exceptions involving tiny factions, everyone's decided they're now best friends and they're all going to work together to take me down. So okay, let's go over the plan here. Step 1, land borders. They need to be reinforced to hell, because there might be a lot of armies suddenly marching in this direction at any minute now. Now luckily for me, and indeed any faction that starts in the west of Japan, yeah, that's not necessarily going to be such a problem, because if you're primarily based on Kyushu or Shikoku, then yeah, there's a good chance the only land border you've got with the rest of Japan is right here on this peninsula to the west of Kyoto. Which is precisely how it's worked out for me. So we've got a Bison here, with a bigger stone castle, lots of flippy garrisons, and a gigantic army guarding this place too. And then yeah, way further north, we've got Iwami, which is also a land border city, albeit one that is much worse defended. But it's only really, yes, bordering the Ameiko, who are currently barely even alive because, yes, at the point where Realm Divider was declared and thus everyone decided to make peace with everyone else, they just basically lost everything to the Ikoiki. So they've basically not got anything right now. And also their one remaining city is utterly miserable. So they might just be about to die to rebellion, who knows? So yeah, hopefully nothing too bad is coming in that direction, though maybe we should just, like, you know, get a few extra archers in place, just in case. Step 2. The ocean. This is where, yes, all that spending on the navy really bloody starts being worthwhile. Because over here, in Kyushu, this is where my economic heartlands are. And these territories just became even more flipping important, because my economy is only just holding together right now. In large part due to, yes, the collapse of my trade income, which is not zero because, yes, trade goods you can't actually sell, you do still get a tiny bit of money for. So, if you've got a giant pile of resources, you can make a little bit of money, but really not much in the slightest. As a result of that, it is critical we don't lose any of these high-value cities. And basically, the only way anyone can get to those is by boat. So, if I just control the ocean, nobody could get to my nice, soft, undefended economic heartlands. But on top of that, if we just, you know, flip that around for a second, if I've got control of the sea, there's nothing to stop me sending, you know, a small but still reasonable army way behind enemy lines all the way deep into eastern Japan in order to go and steal some of this territory. Because I bet most of this is completely unflipping guarded. Still, no need to worry about that for now. Just for the minute, we need to be, yes, focusing on something far more important, which is the possibility that there are big and nasty fleets floating around where I can't actually see the bastards, and conveniently, I have realised, yes, I've got one more fleet available to me than I thought I did. Because up to now, I've just been keeping one fleet here to, you know, guard my central port, so trade isn't interrupted. But, funny old thing, like I was just saying, there is no trade to guard anymore, so this fleet can just go off and do its own thing at this point. So okay, begin just sweeping the local area, looking for any signs of any other fleets. In particular, yeah, I know there's at least one somewhat major fleet round here. Just need to track it down. And unfortunately, if I can't, yes, I'm sure it'll make itself known very soon. As for my faction leader, meanwhile, yeah, just start wearing down the eco-eky a little bit, and sure, they'll be running off. We should be able to track them down. But yes, unfortunately, due to the camera zoom, it can be very difficult to flipping track down where these bastards have just gone. Seriously, where did you just go? Yeah, beyond that, divide the defensive fleet in two. Just send 4 boats up in this direction, and 4 down over here. So I'm pretty sure I did see, there we go. Small eco-eky fleet potentially coming in this direction to interrupt my trade routes, and even though, yes, I'm not actually trading anything right now, trade nodes generate a lot of flipping money that we do not want to be losing. So, yeah, we need to hold on to these. Without any of these, we'll be into a deficit. Accordingly, just send this fleet that was guarding the main port downwards, and there we go. More over here, but you are just going to be chased off in that direction. Hopefully we can track you down in just a second, buddy. I literally had another fleet over here, waiting to intercept those guys. I still don't bloody know where they are. Yes, fleets sometimes just sort of disappear, because fleet visibility is not that high. Still, bare minimum, hold on to, yeah, these tiny fleets here. They'll give us good visibility as to what's going on in this bit of the world. Okay, great start to Operation Clear the Seas, which is I haven't been able to track down a single cooking enemy fleet. Well done, John. Bare minimum, though, yeah. Right now, we've got a whole bunch of provinces not paying tax at all. When they chill out a bit, yeah, we'll be able to make a little bit more money out of them. In fact, yeah, Tosa could go back on immediately, because even though it's on at -4, next turn, yeah, the main castle will actually be repaired, so that'll be fine. But yeah, step 1 is just to stabilize for a second, get Shikoku nice and calm, and then consider where precisely we're going to go and attack next, though, you know what? Speaking of which, I was about to say, I'll just recruit a ninja and send, you know, a handful of them behind enemy lines to start spying. But, funny old thing, apparently, I've got basically 0 buildings that let me train cooking ninjas, so, okay, we'll just, like, you know, train some back here, I guess. It's going to take these guys a while to get to the front line. And when they do, they're going to be immediately arrested by 10 million Metsukes. But it's worth giving it a go, I guess. Still, keep on keeping on. I'm guessing, yes. The first problem we need to deal with is a fair few fleets floating around this bit of the world. So, let's see who's coming at us first. Tiny Takeda fleet, eco-eky forming up. Probably thinking about a fairly major... Okay, you're just working around to me. You're forming up a force too. There's a pretty major bloody fleet, though... I say a pretty major fleet. That's actually nothing but trade ships. And 1 single firebomb tossing ship, so... I know this is stupid, but I'm actually going to try and fight this one, because if I can just knock that thing out, and the range on firebombs is not great... I might be able to win this one. I mean, probably not, to be honest, because, yes, this is actually a slow ship. Meaning I won't be able to just, you know, kite away from them, tossing fire arrows over and over, but... Screw it, I'm gonna give it a go anyway. And yeah, the actual ships here, they don't get fire arrows at all, so... I feel like this is all gonna come down to one thing, which is, I'm just going to go and attack these guys, and board them immediately. Because I've got way more Marines than they've got. So, okay, screw it. Let's see if we can make this happen. Because if I could just, yeah, take that ship and force it to surrender, while simultaneously just shooting with all my archers at the trade ships who don't have much in the way of military strength at all, you know what? This could work potentially. I don't know. The problem is, to board these guys, I need to get close enough they can toss firebombs at me. I feel like this might not work now I think about it. Who flipping knows? Right, we're going in for an attack. Activate mega speed just to get up to you nice and quick. When we get close, we'll do a war cry to freak them out and whatnot. So, no, seriously, I have no idea what's about to happen. This is a really weird engagement, so... I mean, do feel free to, like, you know... open fire anyway, guys. There we go. You may as well do a little bit of firing. And activate the war cry. Here come the bombs. So, war cry. You are now a little bit on the scared side. Got a bit out there. There we go. They are tossing bombs at us. Good. Took them a moment, but they got there. No, mainly, that just took out my archers, not my marines. So, right, they're continuing to fire on us, but we are firing on them too. The ship's like, you know, superior height is working in our favour. So now we just send our marines in, who do some really cool, awesome jumps and whatnot. Brilliant. So yeah, we just take this ship. Everything's going to be fine. And yeah, this ship is, you know, not really set up to do actual fighting when it comes to person versus person. Their job is just, oh dear, our ship seems to be on fire. Okay, that could be a problem, but you've surrendered, so that's good. So, okay, guys. Stop boarding, and instead, please put out the fire. Though you can't put out the fire until you're done with the boarding action, which you can't be done with until you're done, like, you know, pulling troops off this boat, so... anytime you're ready to stop boarding, that'd be great. They've now not got that many archers, so... genuinely not sure what happens now, because there are now a lot of cocking boats floating around. I mean, potentially, we might just want to, you know, immediately board the next ship, or something. So, please just go on board this ship if you'd be so kind. Then again, actually, you know what? There we go. Just hold still and repair for a second while we just put out the fire. Okay? Just everybody deal with that fire for 1 second. There's a lot of corpses on our boat right now, because they did toss some bombs at us. I suspect this guy might be about to break in a second, yes. There we go, a fire goes out, and rather conveniently, the trade ships appear to have just sort of stopped firing at me. Does anyone know why the trade ships have stopped firing? They've just decided they don't want to anymore. Okay, well I'm just going to come over here and, like, board the next trade ship, I guess. Oh, I think it was, yes, this boat was blocking the angle of the other trade ship. So, right, just get a little bit closer. So that keeps happening. And there we go. We're now nice and sheltered. So, yes, we're using surrendered ships as, like, barricades to protect myself from all these other boats and whatnot. Though, we seem to be struggling to, board this ship right now. Because, yes, we're too close to an island, so... naval warfare! As I say, maybe not necessarily the highlight of Shogun 2. No, tragedy, we were able to beat a handful of them, but in the end, yeah, there was just too much firepower coming in. My ship broke, and as a result, the fight immediately ends. It was a spirited attempt, guys. Well done. On the plus side, though, we now know that, yes, there's just a giant pile of free trade ships waiting to be grabbed somewhere nearby to my territory. And bloody hell, there's more cocking pirates floating around too. In theory, I could win that one, though. I'm going to back off for now, because I've got better ships nearby. So, oh, that's going to knacker the economy. Okay, I could do without cocking pirates everywhere, but... bare minimum, we're not losing money at the moment. We're not, like, you know, into a proper deficit or anything. You, get back over here, and yeah... these guys are mostly just a trade ship, so we've got, yeah, 4 vessels ready to move in and deal with you. Send this guy to back them up, if they're willing to actually, you know, stand and fight. That should be a-okay just to deal with these guys. Yep, incredibly easy on this occasion, just set them on a fire one by one, toss in the odd war cry, and not only have we won, I'm pretty sure we've captured the entire fleet. That's the one nice thing about pirates. They may constantly respawn and be very annoying, but yes, they're also a source of free trade ships, which is not bad. Speaking of which, yeah, send one a proper fleet to track down these bastards who were causing me a bit of trouble previously, because you, my friends, need to be, yes, hunted down, captured, and put to work. No, not this turn, unfortunately. We'll get back to you later. Oh, and hello, sexy up north, right. If we wanted to, we do not have a shot at the European traders and the Black Ship. And this thing is, yes, ludicrously powerful. 24 cannons and over 300 men on board. So yeah, in terms of men, my European ships have got comparable numbers, but yeah, way less cannons. Like, this thing has got more cannons than 2 Namban trade ships have put together. So, okay. In theory, we probably could move in and take this thing. However, there is one small problem with this old girl, which is, yes, the upkeep cost is like £1,000 all by itself, and I simply don't feel like I need it. If you're playing as a Buddhist faction who doesn't have access to the Namban trade ships, absolutely go knock yourself out. You need this thing because otherwise you don't really have any cannons. But I've got cannons, so yeah. Ignore you. Instead, step one, just chase some of these guys back a little bit, and bare minimum, at least this time, you're not fleeing that far. And actually, you know what? We might be able to take care of both of you in a single fight if we're lucky. There we go. Takeda and Iko-Iki fighting side by side today. Though yes, it's such a small force, I'm very happy to just auto-resolve for that one. That's fine. I do enjoy, by the way, how we finally found something that, yes, my faction leader is actually bloody good at. Well done, sir. Yeah, while I might regret this, I'm going to move you a little bit further forward, just to keep an eye on, yeah, the ocean, Izumo, all those other territories. If we could hold around here, that would be fine. The Mako are at war. They're also, yeah, generating boats, obviously. Yeah. In a perfect world, probably, Destination 1 would be Izumo right here. In fact, actually, have you guys properly built that place up into, like, you know, a big castle or whatnot? Okay, I've got one agent floating around here. I'm just going to send you, yeah, up here towards Hoki. Speaking of which, right. There's another level 1 ninja. In theory, actually, now I think about it, I've got a Metsuke right here. If I were to, like, you know, just send him over to arrest that ninja, that might be a good way of getting you to level up. Though, actually, to be honest, yeah, the economy probably can't afford for my Metsukes to be doing anything but managing towns right now. And that's only a level 1 ninja. He's probably not going to achieve much. And yeah, we're starting to be able to get these societies up here to pay a little bit of tax, which is going to help quite a lot. And what about you, buddy? No, you're not ready to pay tax yet, though. To be honest, that's mainly because, yeah, you're a small society, and also, yeah, only 25% Christian. So, okay. What we need to do is, yeah, maybe put together a small army that can basically just move in, hit towns, and move straight on. Their job is not necessarily to actually, you know, win or hold that territory or anything. Their one and only job is disrupt the enemy, distract them, give them other targets to go for that aren't me. So, for example, key down here is pretty much entirely unguarded. Couple of basic samurai archers, nothing too dangerous there. So yeah, against basically any unguarded city, just like, say, 6 Bo Ashigaru will be able to take the place. They'll just walk in, lay down a fire on anything inside, and take it. Do they want to hold it? No, absolutely not. If we basically just abandon the city immediately thereafter, move on to the next thing, then as a result, there'll be a rebellion, it'll fall into rebel hands, and that rebel force will probably be more difficult to deal with than my small army I'm planning to send in. So, yeah, just basically moving around behind enemy lines, that could be a good strategy. Speaking of which, hang on, where's my main chappie? You, buddy, need to get on the front lines and start kicking off some Christian rebellions. And yeah, with Tosa nice and chill, we could probably get a fair few forces out of here and start pulling together a decent army. So, you, buddy, the new kid, you can be involved in this whole process. Not that involved, though, because yeah, Tosa's still a bit on the angry side, just for the minute. So, okay. Move you up to here. Let's see what else we can... Oh, dear. We can't spare any troops from Io. Io appears to be not particularly happy in general, actually. But we do have some very good archers down here at Awa. So, okay. You're mostly happy, aren't you? Just check. Get a few more basic archers in to replace that lot. Same basic deal over here. You've got some archers too. Yeah, we're just sending in a big old pile of archers over to this bit of the world to start kicking off a little bit of trouble. And beyond that, we're basically just, yeah, mopping up a few tiny Iko-Iki fleets around here, but honestly nothing to worry about. Nolly Stars, you definitely just diverted into deep water. So you're going to start taking attrition. That's fine. If you guys want to take more and more damage, you're definitely in deep water too. That's fine. Let's just get you moving in, yeah, this direction, because... okay, you've got a European ship. That's a-okay. We've got another one around here, but honestly, we probably don't need this much firepower in this bit of the world. Like, you, buddy, you could just, yeah, loop around here, help out with that. Because I don't think we need more than one fleet up here. In fact, if anything, once these guys go down, and I'm convinced the Koiki are dealt with in terms of their fleets, probably will break down this fleet. But yeah, if anyone wants to get to me from the south coast, they've pretty much got to go past this armada. And they should be able to deal with anything coming from the Hojo. Oh, and I tell you what, actually, Setsu here has got a proper fully upgraded library and whatnot for being increased in, you know, tech research. So, okay, buddy, you could potentially be a good target. Also, John, stop spending money. You can't spend this much money because you're not really getting that much in right now. And if something goes wrong with, like, you know, one single valuable city, one trade ship, one anything, yeah, your money's going to dry up in a hurry. Save some up, damn it. With the only exception being, yeah, farm upgrades. Consider those when there's decent soil, fine. But nothing more than that, so okay. Keep time ticking along here. The Hojo and the Takeda shouldn't be able to get to me immediately, or rather... oh! Well, I was just saying, if the Hojo want to come this way, they'll have to fight this fleet, and... honestly, guys, I feel like you are overestimating your chances here. Now, in some ways, that's kind of irrelevant, because, yeah, if they just keep tossing your fleets at me over and over, eventually I'll have to send a mine back to port for repairs, so... okay. If they toss too much at me... too quickly, we could potentially be in trouble. But for now, okay. They've started in a really weird position on the far side of this island. So, if they can attack me, which they should be planning to do, because, you know, they started this fight, if we're lucky, they'll have just accidentally put themselves into a bigger line, so I could just shoot them one by one. Possibly, some of the boats will just get stuck on this island because, once again, naval pathfinding, not that spectacular. In addition, let's just, you know, give credit where credit's due to this one trade ship who managed to get around the island first and is thus being attacked at long range by cannons all by itself with zero support. And apparently, they've not immediately given up. They are happy to just, you know, stand there and take it. Good job, guys. So, okay, here comes some more cannonballs. Lovely. I do enjoy just a random trade ship leading the charge. That's delightful. Still, this does mean rather conveniently they're just sailing into my various arrow platforms, meaning in just a second. Right, everybody activate fire arrows, set these idiots on fire while we also just hit them with cannons, and... okay, that's you given up. Good, well done, lads. But yeah, if you just sort of stagger your fire arrows, so you've always got some fire arrows available, that's a good way of just dealing with this situation, because... yeah, you'll always have someone who can lay down that beautiful fire, set the enemy ships on fire, etc., etc., and then, yeah, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. They'll see their friends are wavering nearby, they will come under constant fire from every direction, sooner or later more cannon fire will show up too. That ship's already under fire from my cannons as well, so, yes, at that point, they'll just collapse pretty bloody soon. It's just a matter of time. Also, while I've not really been drawing attention to it, yes, don't worry if like a few ships do get a little bit close by to your big European ships, because your big ships have rather conveniently got people with guns on them. So, yes, you know, if you get too nearby, they will just open a fire with the muskets, and that will do a huge amount of damage as well. So, we're not really too worried about that nonsense. And as I said before, you can't help but notice that, yes, down at the bottom there, they're just not doing any damage to us. Like, you know, there's a fair bit of arrow fire coming in on this boat right now, but because this boat is so tall, and they're so much lower in the water than me, they're just not hitting any of my guys. My chaps are just really bloody well defended. Anyway, last a few ships are floating around. Just lay ridiculous amounts of fire arrows on them. They are now panicking. They are on fire. They're not happy about life. And... oh, yeah. One European ship can just carrier fight. Nice and easy. Oh, but hello, sexy. That's not all the Hojo were planning, like I was saying. The alliances that form up after Realm Divide mean the Hojo can now move their forces straight into the front line. So, right. We've got one general here. Pretty young, not spectacular, all things considered. Leading, okay, an army, but maybe not the best army. And presumably they're heading straight at me. So, here's the plan. If they decide they're going to come in and attack me, then good luck, basically. I've got guns, I've got bows, I've got some really bloody good katana troops. If, meanwhile, they decide to just hang out outside of Bison, try and put me under siege and wait me out, that is why we've got a secondary army here at Bitchu. So then we could just send reinforcements in to overwhelm them with numbers. Also, at some point I had a priest level up and I just completely bloody missed it. So, right. At this point, yes, the chance of assassination is going up a fair bit with the ninjas sniffing around and whatnot. So, you have a nice sword, good sir. That's fine. And yeah, let's have you focused more on converting characters. So yeah, take that up to level 2. On top of that, make sure you can escape from any attacks on you, good sir. Beautiful. So right, your job is, hang on, there's a ninja right there. Trying to convert that ninja to Christianity. The enemy agent has been perplexed. Brilliant. We've officially just confused a ninja into submission. Better and better. And obviously, yes, that counts for a lot of experience, so this guy will be leveling up again in no time whatsoever. Now, step the next. Track down those bloody trade ships. I know they're around here. Hang on, I saw you go in this direction. Where did those bloody trade ships naff off to? Well, bare minimum, there's something, and if you guys decide to fight, gosh darn it, I was hoping you might pull the Mako out of port. Because the thing is, I can't advance too far when the Mako are training ships right here, because they just keep them safe in port, I go past them, and they just send those guys up towards my trade nodes. That's no good at all. And oh yeah, Izumo here is a proper fortress, so... okay. We might want to consider moving in and taking that, though if we do, that kind of feels like a bit of a provocation against the Iko-Iki. So yeah, if we do that, we've got to be ready to deal with the inevitable counterattack. You know what? We've got a lot of good troops here, in fact, oh... I'd forgotten we had new Donderbus cavalry. And also some spare guns here as well, so, right. You get those guys moving in that direction. Over here in Aki, that's where we can train, yeah, units with loads of bonus morale. So yeah, Yari Ashigaru, with morale up to 9, they will stand in a fight way more effectively. Brilliant. Then just toss in a handful more bows over here. And yeah, that will be a decent force ready to move in and take Izumo. And I was going to give you guys a general as well, but... John... You've got a general nearby. You've got the general nearby. You're cocking a faction leaders right here. Okay, buddy. Might be time for you to get back down on the land and whatnot. Though for now, yeah, stay right here nearby to Izumo. Keep an eye on this fleet they're building. But if we can just take out, yeah, this city and thus take that port, that might work out nicely, because I don't think you guys have got much in the way of port infrastructure floating about. But yeah, the bigger problem we've got coming in is the Hojo. They are blatantly making a move towards Bison. And they've got to be going in that direction because, yeah, if I could just keep knocking out their fleets, there's nothing they can do to ferry their forces anywhere more interesting. So, just double check they didn't have another one hiding around the corner or anything. And, hello there, secondary force. And I think that was the same force, actually. So, oh, guys. I'm really sorry about this, but you just get sunk now. And yeah, continue building a secondary army over here on Shikoku. So, you, sir, have actually got, yeah, some pretty decent troops standing by, ready to get involved. And you, sir, need to be, yeah, ferried over to the mainland. So I'm pretty sure we should be safe for the minute. Just send over one ship to this port. you get on board there. Next turn, yeah, we should be able to get you ashore somewhere a bit more interesting, shall we say. In fact, you know what? Can we get you ashore right here, right now? Oh, we can as well. Spot on. And yeah, we've got a 75% chance of inciting revolt against your average settlement, so that's good. Because a couple of Christian rebel buffer states, that would be just the thing. So okay, force number 1 is coming together at Biowami. Force number 2 down on Shikoku. And we have, I'd say, pretty uncontested control of the sea for the time being. So that is positive, though. Seriously, where did the rest of your stupid fleet go? Because I know it's round here somewhere. So okay, one small fleet goes around to me and... right. Did they just decide not to besiege me? Or did they just run out of movement points? And bloody hell, they're immediately sending all of the cooking... Did you just successfully arrest my priest the moment he got to shore? Right, well, that's where that fleet is. Yep, okay, they've tried to imprison to my guy. He'll be back in a minute, but that's fine. Oh, and speaking of priests, right. Some guy's just leveled up and is back here at Bongo. So I'm guessing you were captured at some point recently as well. Oh, yeah. They've made it to just outside the city. And they've got a small number of reinforcements coming in. Potentially, even more reinforcements as well. The Ikawiki are just around the corner. But at least for the time being, they're holding still. Are there any more people around here who might be planning to join that attack? I mean, there is a decent-sized army right here, and that's a lot of samurai, so... Okay, seriously, Realm Divide, not a joke. And where the cock did this Mako fleet come from? Bloody hell. Right, there's also you guys over here, and then... Okay, what have I got nearby that could assist with that? Because I don't know how bad that fleet is, potentially, and... Small ships. Just small ships cooking everywhere. Right, send a proper fleet over in this direction, just to, yes, guard against this sort of nonsense. Because I don't really want to bring my main fleet all the way home just for that. Not when I'm trying to put together an army that, yeah, the admiral of that fleet might end up leading. So yeah, put those troops together with these ones. That should be able to do a good job against whatever's guarding Izumo. Because I'm not really sure these guys have got an army anymore, to be honest. Do keep in mind, though, yeah, over here at Bison, this is not my best general. He's over here. And on top of that, I mean, these are solid troops, but they're not the absolute creme de la creme. Like, you know, some of our better troops are over here on Shikoku, and they probably shouldn't be with the benefit of hindsight. Okay, if these guys are going to start accumulating troops here, it's time to start fighting back a bit. Send a decent number of troops into this boat here, which apparently has got to involve... yes, these guys are moving for some reason. Then send them some light cavalry. Give you guys... Actually, you know what? Just the light cav. Do I even want to give you... Never mind, you've already got a commander. That's fine. So, okay. Give them the light cav. Seriously, just get them aboard and... Okay, you're being very fussy right now just to put the cavalry on the cooking boat. Never mind, we'll put the cavalry on the boat next turn, apparently. Because, yes, everyone's being a bit on the fussy side about getting on the boats. What's much more interesting, though, is, yeah, what's about to happen here? Are these guys about to move in and attempt to attack me? Because, honestly, if they are, I'm going to suggest, yeah, we could actually maybe do with a tiny bit less in the way of katana samurai, and a bit more in the way of guns and arrows. Yeah, I'm actually going to send a little tiny bit of, yeah, basic infantry, one unit of katanas away, in order to have more archers and more guns. Because guns in particular, they're the killers when it comes to siege defense. Like 5 units of matchlocks. Oh, that will cooking melt any type of samurai. So alright, Hojo, is it finally time for us to fight on land after so many years of just fighting on sea over and over again? Oh yeah, oh flippin' yeah. He's coming in. He's coming in for an attack, and obviously he's got these guys as reinforcements, though it's not great in terms of, yes, the reinforcements there. That's mostly pretty basic stuff. with the exception of the Longswords. Longsword Ashigaru are brilliant. They're a special unit for the Iko-Iki, but these guys have got them too. And yeah, basically they function as like mini cheap samurai, but they're very effective for their price. The main army, meanwhile, is, yeah, loads of archers, Yari Ashigaru, and not that much in the way of samurai. Oh, guys, I think you've made a mistake here. In fact, honestly, I think the game is being remarkably generous, saying that, yes, you're going to win this one. The key on this occasion being, this is not just a small fort anymore. I've been upgrading this structure for a very specific reason. Say hello to a castle, because, oh yeah, oh flippin' yeah, when you start upgrading your settlements, they turn into medieval 2 citadels with multiple tiers of defences, so you can just fall back to safety if anything ever starts looking a little bit on the dicey side. So, okay, this is gonna be good right here, because yes, these guys have now got to figure out precisely how it is they're gonna crack a multi-tier settlement. And that's great news in the sense that, yeah, I could just line up troops and then pull them back and continue shooting, etc, etc. So, you know, you could have archers down on the low ground, then for any units that get past, you could have the gunners on the high ground, shooting down on enemies as they come up over the walls, etc, etc. That's all good stuff. There is, however, one downside that you need to be aware of, which is, as I've said previously, in this game, when you're the defender in a city siege, yeah, you can't break. It's like a plaza in Rome or Medieval 2. However, if you're dealing with a multi-tier map, that is only true on the top level. Okay, down on the lower tiers, my units can still break, they can still run away. So that is something you definitely have got to keep in mind. So okay, we don't know precisely where the enemy are going to show up, but here's my starting gambit. I'm going to put my archers down on the low ground, because I know they've got quite a few archers too. Archer versus archer, when I've got, yeah, the advantages of walls, that will be a slaughter in my favour. Then what we do, as they start bringing their own units in, is fall back a little bit. My gunners, meanwhile, they're going to be up on the second rank of defences. So, as these guys start coming up over the walls, breaking down gates, etc, etc, we lay down the fire on them, sending out a couple of samurai just to keep them busy. At the same time, we've got archery towers that will start firing as well, so at that point, yes, I think it's only a matter of time until they collapse. So, step one, and see precisely where you guys are and what you're planning to do. And specifically, yeah, who's where. Bo Ashigaru over in that direction. Okay. Over here, meanwhile, right, that's the reinforcements coming in, so don't worry about them. They'll take a while to get to us. Yeah, more bows are coming in this direction, so I probably want to reassign the bows over here, over to this corner. They'll do a perfectly good job of there. Over on this flank, however, yeah, everything is fine. Mostly we've got Yari Samurai over here, more Yari Samurai. Right, this is where, like, you know, the actual infantry is. In fact, most of the infantry. Now, that kind of works in my favour, because, yeah, I've got some guns right here, ready to fire down onto this bit of the defences as they're making their way up. But yeah, if anything, this group over here, you might be more used to me over here. So, you move in that direction, as I was saying, and the archers need to reposition, so you guys are ready to take out the other archers as they start arriving, and that'll be spot on. In fact, hang on, based on what I'm seeing here, is this actually nothing but archers on this side? Okay, there's like, yeah, 1 unit of Yari Ashigaru at the rear. But beyond that, this is 5 units of bows, so... okay, I think we figured out what the light cavalry is going to be doing on this occasion. You guys get down to the bottom, and yeah, start mopping up this nonsense. 2 units of bows on my side, and a handful of cavalry should be able to deal with this. Then, yeah, just send a few more gun units up to this side to back these guys up. You can deal with these idiots as they start arriving, so, right. Do I need to start deploying my katana lads down at all? Probably wouldn't hurt, so, yeah, just get 3 of them, nice and far back so the archers don't hit them. Some more of you just, yeah, stay over in this direction. I don't think, however, we need, yeah, that much in the way of Katana Samurai on this side. 2 of you stay here. Other 2, yeah, head to the high ground over on this side. So, right, you guys can open fire. You may also just use flaming arrows. That's A-okay. You guys are naffing off in this direction to go and join this wall. Fascinating. So, okay. That's all fine. Aha. Is that because you just saw my cavalry coming down and you're going to try and assist with that? Possibly, yes, but I am not going to let you guys. Could we maybe, like, speed things up a little bit? Like, little bit of haste when we're literally under cocking siege. Right, unfortunate start there, because these guys have decided to just take their cocking time in terms of getting into position. And that is fine, because, yeah, we've now got cavalry coming in through the... No, get out of the water, please. Out of the water. You'll be faster not in the water. Right, we've taken some unfortunate casualties there. But you, sir, can now just head in this direction. Slam into these guys, and that will slow them down a lot. So, right, hit you. Start wrapping them up. Beautiful. So, okay, we've got more over here as well, but that is fine. We've got more archers coming in. You guys, however, you're doing a good job. Activate flaming arrows. That is fine. And yeah, you guys are starting to climb up. That have already taken some, if not a huge amount of damage. The point, however, is, yeah, I have now got gunners ready to shoot these guys as they come in. So with that being the case, yeah, I want all of you on this front to start falling back. You just come over here. You guys could just come over here. You guys are... Actually, you know what? You guys are fine. For some reason, these guys took their time moving in. Possibly because... right, those are bows. So that's fine. You just take care of them. But these guys, yeah, just move back a little bit. Clear out the... What did I just say? Clear out the way. Let the katanas come in and deal with all of this. Because now we've got... Oh, yeah. Here it comes. Here comes the cocky gunfire from above dealing with these guys. So you are now just being shot from above. Yari Samurai versus Katana Samurai. Oh, guys. I don't fancy your chances, to be honest. Meanwhile, over on this side, okay, my cavalry got a little bit, yes, all caught up by those archers, but that is fine. You guys are climbing the walls, but that's fine. We've got plenty of defenses ready for you. You just get into position to deal with that. And then, yeah, you just come around here. Slam into these guys with the advantage of a charge bonus. That's A-okay. So, yeah, we're doing a good job of just wearing them down right here for now. The light cavalry are only going to do so much, obviously. The point was really to distract these guys rather than actually do any serious damage. We're not trying to kill them, we're just trying to keep them busy. Right, background to this side. That is just archers versus archers. Then we have got my troops versus these guys. But yeah, they're starting to not be happy because we are just shooting them from the high ground, which is beautiful. So they're just being constantly shot from above. Guys, why precisely are you not doing very well? Is it because you're being shot in the back? They might be being shot in the back, it's hard to say. Right. You guys, go and support over here. Let's get reinforcements piling in, please. But yeah, though we are taking some losses, and by the way, you should just turn this way and open a fire on those guys, please. Yeah. Get the general forward a bit. If he just gets to here, he'll be able to do a little bit of good. How are you guys doing, by the way? You guys should be in range to be shooting these guys right now. So, yeah, you're just firing down off the castle. Oh, yeah, that'll flip it do. That'll cock it do the job. Then we've got my own cavalry. Okay, that is distracting a lot of these guys. So now we can just basically fire at them. So this front is, yes, basically not advancing. Because, like, you know, 23 cavalry are just standing around doing functionally nothing. Which is delightful. Not the Yari Ashigaru, though. That would be a bad call. Get over here and hit those guys. So, okay. How's the situation going over here? And would you guys mind just doing a bit of inspiration to... Excuse me. Activate rally, please. I want you guys not running away. Get over here. Fire on them. Yeah, most of their good troops are already screwed at this point. So, yeah. Their archers are dealt with. This was most of their actual samurai. They're all dead. We've taken some losses, but that's fine. Gunners up here, just tearing these guys apart. You're being charged. You're now broken. You're wavering. Cavalry's about to hit you. So, once again, massive cavalry losses. But it kind of doesn't matter, to be honest. Like, this is what cavalry's for. Its job is to, you know, distract, to lead the enemy away, etc., etc. So, okay, has anyone even come in this direction? And also, okay, there's just a couple of bows here. You guys fall back, because that is completely irrelevant. And, hello over there. What's going on over here? Right, you guys are, yes, climbing the long way up. Sorry, didn't notice you previously. That's all absolutely fine, though. We should have, yeah, some bows that could deal with you. Bring some spare katana samurai back in this direction. Yes, these guys, pull them back. Do we have any more cavalry around here? I mean, I've got these guns. But you guys are going to do a good job, yeah, shooting those guys. I don't really want to move you out of position. I feel like, yeah, basically, we can bring cavalry back up to tier 2. Because, yeah, there's nothing to stop you climbing from the ground up to tier 2 directly. It's just, you know, slower and more tiring for the unit that's doing it. So, that is fine. You guys, yeah, just retreat while we send in the katana samurai to deal with you guys. And then, yeah, we've got gunner fire down on these lads. You are basically, yes, in a bit of trouble right now. You've been badly shot, actually. But, yeah, anything around here is just being dealt with. You could just retreat and naff off. I think, yes, pretty much at this point, right. You guys have just been dealt with. Get the cavalry to this side of the field. Gunners are just shooting all of these idiots. So, yeah, the last holdouts are now the ones coming up over here. But by now, seriously, guys. Guys, what are you flipping doing? Activate, yes, some flaming arrows if you can. That's going to be available in like 10 seconds. More bow lads here. Just to shoot at these guys too. Flaming arrows, if you to be so kind. Thank you very, very much indeed. There we go. Flaming arrows. Yeah, just to shoot these guys. See if we could just scare them off. We've got Yari Ashigaru coming in. That is fine. But yeah, these guys should momentarily panic and give up. Because basically everyone else in their army already has. There we go. My katana samurai have finally made it to the front. So they could deal with the, yes, Ikoiki troops. The gunners here are taking a little bit of fire, but they are returning fire quite effectively on these idiots, so they are falling apart in no time whatsoever. What's left here? Honestly, not much. You guys are shattered. This unit has just been fired upon from every angle and not really achieved anything. Sorry about that, lads. You go over here, finish off of these lads while you guys just shoot them. We've also got, yeah, some more gunners moving up to the third and final tier, but looks to me like, yeah, I think we've got them. And there we go. I think the last unit just shattered, so this should be ending. Did you guys finally catch up with my... No, you did not catch up with my cavalry. My cavalry naffed off over here. So, for once, some horses did survive. Not many, I'll admit, but some did. Here we go. I think we've got the last units right here. Hilariously, a bow unit, but I've just ordered my gunners into position up on the high ground, meaning... Okay. You guys are going to not be doing well momentarily. Already flipping wavering. Obviously, yes, with this angle, this is not favourable for them. We have got the high ground. They tried to do something, but yeah, we've got well-defended troops here. We can just fire on them from above. They'll be collapsing any moment. And there we go. Big old volley coming in, tearing them apart. So there we go. He sent 4,000 men in. They have pretty much been wiped out to the last man. My 3,000, meanwhile, they have taken casualties, but the vast majority are still alive. And bear in mind, there's one other very important thing about this here castle, which we'll get to in just a second, but oh blimey. That's a lot of experience. Thank you very, very much, the Hojo. So okay. One of those forces has been murdered. The other one has just fallen down. We've got more Takeda fleets as well. But honestly, they've never had much in the way of, yes, naval power. Watch out for the Ameko, though, because... Okay, you guys are determined to sneak around the back and attack my trade, aren't you? I mean, good plan, to be honest, yes. And yeah, the problem I've got here is, this is nothing but small, light bow platforms. So I've got fire arrows, absolutely, but they've got much bigger ships. So what I really need to do is, yeah, just keep my distance, set them on fire, and do what I can. And in a perfect world, yeah, this ship being a faster will get to me first, so we can knock that out nice and early. The others, however, that could be a problem. And yeah, the weaker one's in the center, so maybe focus fire on the center one, and that could be my second target. Right, just open a fire on you, set you on a fire, chase you off as best as we can. You are not happy about life, and you are very on a fire, by the way. Okay, that's a good start. There we go, surrendered immediately. That's what we wanted to do. Now what we do is, yeah, just to push her forward a tiny amount here, because, yeah, hopefully they'll kind of get stuck on each other a little bit. Guys, fall back and line up, okay? You are faster. You're going with the wind behind you. That's precisely the position I want you to be in. So just a step away, line up, and where's the weak one? It's over on the left at this point. So, right, you guys just start moving in this direction. Anyone who's got flaming arrows, start using them. That is fine. You are almost off cooldown. You will be ready to use those momentarily. Yeah, that is precisely the boat I wanted to be, you know, nice and on a fire. Oh, bloody hell. No, no, no. Watch out. Okay, that's my general unit. Maybe, like, you know, keep him towards the rear. You are not happy. You are on a fire. If we could just put all of these ships on fire, at that point, yeah, we'll be in a good situation. Because bear in mind, these guys don't have flaming arrows, like, at all. So you are on fire. Who else has got, yes, fire arrows available? No one for like a minute or so. So, right, bare minimum, they're now splitting up. So let's just get some distance between me and them while we just start wearing them down a little bit. A pause in the action works in my favour. Because, yeah, I can recharge my fire arrows. They don't have fire arrows to charge up again. Alright, guys, begin pushing forward. You've now got flaming arrows back off cooldown. So, okay, you two, activate flaming arrows. Everybody just activate flaming arrows. Alright, I want all of you to be setting all of you on fire, please. I ideally need, yes, some of you to break. You are strong. You are somewhat weak. You guys are... Okay, this is balanced carefully at the minute. You guys are taking a lot of damage, by the way. That is a positive. Okay. So you are now pulling back to repair yourself. That is fine. We could just lay down at the fire. If one of you would like to break, that would be ideal. Oh, gosh, darn it, someone's broken. I feel like the morale may have got a little bit too low, unfortunately. We're only 8 seconds away from... And no, guys, stop bloody panicking. You're so close to be able to send out more fire arrows because... I think one of them might be breaking too. Guys, just fire arrows, fire arrows, fire arrows. Hit everybody with cocking fire arrows, please, okay? Just set them on fire. That's the goal, right there. We just need to set them all on fire, because you have withdrawn, presumably to do repairs. That is good. We can just focus on this guy for 1 second. Gosh darn it, these big ships are just a little bit too tanky for bow platforms to deal with by themselves. And I think this is over. I think now you've got too many friends nearby who are, yes, withdrawing. So, it was a spirited attempt, but tragically, no. We're going to have to send something a bit tankier and meatier around to assist. Bare minimum, yeah. We actually got all of our boats away. They lost one of theirs. So, it's not so bad, all things considered. So maybe don't, like, you know, go and hang out too nearby to the flipping Eco-Wiki ships. They're not friendly either. And seriously, they're just determined to not let my priest do anything. Just constantly sending Metsukes against us. Dear oh flipping dear. So, blimey. On this occasion, yes, not just cocking arrested, executed as well. Metsukes, they can be a problem. But yes, as I was saying, the advantage that we have got here is... I've set up Bison to have ridiculous levels of replenishment. So, we are replenishing 64 men a turn into this unit. Like, these guys had 12 men at the end of the fight. they're already up to 76. Basically, every unit in this army, apart from like a 1 or 2, will be back up to full condition next turn. So yes, that's a big advantage to the situation we've got going on here at Bison. Okay, deploy reinforcements northwards to back up this situation. You guys can't get to port right now, unfortunately. So yeah, you just stay right there next to the trade ships so you can back each other up. And I'm going to have to, yeah, recruit some additional ships, though. Okay, you guys need to go down too. So I can't, like, you know, send this fleet there immediately. Because I need to be chasing you guys out onto the open water. And they're literally fleeing towards my flipping trade nodes. So you also need to be dealt with. Dear flipping dear. Right, bare minimum. We've got those guys taken out and taken care of. Beautiful. But yeah, I'd say it's now time for you, my friends, to mosey 1 back into safe water, and then 2 go around the corner and help out with this nonsense. You can just be stationed to the west now. Still, we've now got, yes, this army up here, Bio-army, ready to start moving in against Izumo. Just positive that we don't want to go in during a winter, obviously. And then we've got, yes, this nonsense over here. So now you can't move. Cocking a fleet, they can be very fussy on occasion. Still, one nice thing, which is, I think we have finally tracked down that bloody fleet of trade ships I was trying to get my hands on this entire time. So just try and chase them off, and keep an eye on the direction they're going in. They've got away from me again. Me and you are going to have words, guys. Still, if I've learnt anything from that last fight, yeah. I think what I want here in Bison is even more archers. Let's just, swap out 1 unit of Yari Ashigaru for another arch unit. I just think, yeah, 3 archers on one side of the city, 3 on the other. That's better. And do bear in mind, of course, yeah, these samurai are going to get stronger and stronger as they pick up some experience, so they'll be much more effective after a couple of fights. So okay, given my principal army needs a turn to recover anyway, let's just keep a time moving along. As yes, my agents just continue the very slow march from Kyushu to the front line. Oh, and they've got more troops coming in yet. The Hojo are most definitely not done. Neither of the Metsukes, though. Oh! I think you just had a crisis of faith after attempting to assassinate my lads there, dear flipping dear. Oh, uh-oh. Okay, slight issue we've got going on here, which is... Well, one, I think the economy just collapsed because those boats that snuck by me, they just took out my trade network. But on top of that, a much nastier army has just arrived. So okay, this is in fact nothing but samurai in general. So, right, that one's going to be a fair Wakada to take care of, potentially. So, okay, now that, yes, the madness that is Rogue Divide has begun, how about we wrap things up there? But next time, right, obviously, step 1, we've got to defend ourselves against a much nastier army, and, yes, I don't think we're necessarily going to get that much of a break once, you know, we've taken care of these guys. At this point, the armies are going to be coming thick and fast. We've not seen the Takeda yet, but somewhere out there, they're on their way as well. Along with more Hojo armies. I'm pretty sure I saw more Hojo troops moving in the background. So, yes indeed. At this point, it's all down to Bison and its heroic defenders kicking off with one hell of a siege next episode. So hopefully you join me for that. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd. And this has been the delightful Shogun 2 Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
This guy's enjoying that. This guy's enjoying his elephant a bit too much.
Oh my god.
In Fair Verona, we set our scene. Oh my god, Becky, look at her butt. It is so big.
They've managed to glitch inside one of the buildings. Elephants in the rear! And then in come the chariots!